Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over part 2 of things you need to know about living in Las Vegas in 2021. Today, we're going to go over 10 more things. Last video, part 1, we also did 10 things, so this will be 10 more. Hi guys, if you don't know me already, my name's Tom, and I help people who want to move to Las Vegas, move to Las Vegas. And with that, let's get right into it. The first thing that you need to know about living in Las Vegas in 2021 is that there is life off of the strip. So many people I talk to, so many people that I meet, friends of family, relatives, so many people think, oh, you live in Las Vegas, you must be living on the strip. No, Las Vegas is a huge city. There are thousands of people that live here. In the Las Vegas metro, there's about 1 million people that live here. And let me tell you guys, the strip is only about 7 miles long. 1 million people do not live on one 7-mile strip of road. There is life off the strip, I promise you. And in fact, all of my clients are looking at off-strip properties. I haven't run into anybody who actually wants to live right on the strip. There are people that want to do that, and if that's you, definitely reach out and I can help you find a place. But for the majority of people who move to Las Vegas, they don't want to live on the strip because of the tourism, because of the noise, the lights, the 24/7, everything. But yeah, there's life off the strip, and better than that, guys, Las Vegas is set up in all these little different quadrants. Every quadrant has their own, like large major casino. So if you do want to live off the strip, but sometimes you want to partake in the gambling and the entertainment, see a movie, go to a nice restaurant, you can definitely still do that, all without having to live on the strip, which I think is a huge bonus of the city. All right, guys, that number 2 thing is that now we actually have pro sports teams. Now we have the Golden Knights playing hockey, and we have the Las Vegas Raiders, who just moved down from Oakland last year. Got brand new stadiums, so you guys got to come out, see these games. Now Las Vegas is going to be an absolute major sports hub. We also have AAA baseball team, the Las Vegas Aviators. There's a second hockey team in Henderson, the Silver Knights, I believe they're called. So we have a ton of sports teams out here now, and we're finally joining the cities that have pro sports teams. And hopefully in the future, we'll get even more sports teams to move here. So if there's any polls or anything like that you guys want to vote or whatever, please vote Las Vegas for sports teams to move here, because that would absolutely be amazing for Las Vegas. All right, number 3, guys, is going to be that Las Vegas is not just Las Vegas. When people say Las Vegas, they think that Las Vegas, the entire valley, is just one city, and that's not the case. There's a lot of different cities and municipalities here in the Las Vegas Valley. Of course, Las Vegas is the most famous, but there's also North Las Vegas, where I live, which is right next to Nellis Air Force Base. It's kind of the northeast of the valley. There's Henderson, which is the southeast. There's Mount Charleston, there's Sandy Valley, there's all these other different municipalities and parts of Las Vegas, how it's split up. So it's not just Las Vegas. So if you're moving out here, or you tell somebody, hey, I'm moving out here to Las Vegas, or maybe you're talking to your realtor or somebody else who's helping you find a home out here, don't just think that Las Vegas means Las Vegas. Make sure you get specific, try to find out exactly where you want to live in the city, and I can help with that. You guys can reach out to me day or night, and I'm happy to help you find a particular place to live that suits your needs. But just so you know, Las Vegas is not the entire valley. There are several other cities and areas that you definitely want to be aware of, and you definitely want to check out, because everybody's got their own pros and cons. And if you want to know more about that, head over to my channel, because I got pros and cons videos about a bunch of different parts of the city. Number 4 on the list, guys, we're going to talk about small businesses. So Nevada as a state doesn't really have that many taxes to pertain to properties and businesses, that sort of thing. So there are actually quite a few businesses here, especially small businesses, because it's such a tax advantage state. So if you're moving your business to Nevada, Las Vegas is a great place to do it. Definitely move here, take advantage of those taxes. But if you don't have a business, or maybe you want to start a business, this is also a great place to do it. But this is a really great place to support your local businesses, because there are so many. I mean, there's coffee shops, there's bakeries. The sky is the absolute limit, guys. And local businesses don't have to be just restaurants. They could be a towing company, it could be car repair, it could be a plumber, it could be any number of services, guys. So please, if you're moving to Las Vegas, or maybe you're already living in Las Vegas, please check out local businesses. Make sure you're doing what you can and buying from local businesses when you can. It really helps out the Las Vegas economy as a whole. It really helps out those local businesses, and it shows the government that those tax incentives for businesses are working, so that we can keep them and have lower taxes for everybody. All right, number 5 on the list, guys, we're gonna talk about schools. But before we do that, please put a comment down below if there's anything I haven't covered so far in this video or in the previous video that you think people need to know about living in Las Vegas. Put it down in the comments section. And also, if you have any ideas for a new video that you'd like me to shoot, put that down in the comments section as well. All right, number 5, guys, we're gonna talk about the Clark County School District and schools in Las Vegas in general. Now, this is a really sore subject with a lot of Nevadans, with a lot of parents, and with people outside of Nevada, because Nevada as a whole has one of the worst reputations when it comes to schools. And that, I don't really know if it's deserved. I mean, my kids are really young. I have twins. My kids are really young, and so they're not going to school yet. So I can't speak firsthand to that. I can only talk about the rankings. So Nevada as a whole is ranked pretty low as far as education goes. But the good news is, in Las Vegas, there are a lot of options for different schools. There's magnet schools, there's like theme type schools, there's of course public schools, different sets of private schools. There are really a lot of options. So don't just think, oh, I'm moving to Nevada and my kids aren't going to get a good education, because that's not true. If you seek out, if you look at your different options, go to the Clark County School District website, CCSD, just Google it, look at all the different options you have for schools and figure out the best option for you, and of course the best option for your children. Some areas of the some areas of the city have more highly ranked schools or public and private schools than other areas. So just research all that. You can research that on niche.com, niche.com, or Great Schools. That's another great website that has school rankings. So check both of those out. Check the school district website and just figure out what the best option for you is, because I promise you there probably is a good option for you and your kids here in Las Vegas. You're just going to have to dig a little harder to find it. All right, guys, number 6, crime. I'm running into a lot of people that think where I live, North Las Vegas, which is its own separate city in the northeast of the Las Vegas Valley, is an absolute crime-ridden wasteland. And I've met some other people who think the same thing about the whole Las Vegas Valley. And I gotta tell you guys, that couldn't be farther from the truth. I've lived here for over 5 years, and my wife and I have never had a single problem with anyone, with our neighbors, with any kind of criminal anywhere. No one's ever stolen our package. I've never even been ding-dong ditched by kids in a neighborhood that I've lived, and I've lived in several different areas. So I don't really know what people are talking about there, but what you really need to do is, because you're the one, if you're buying a house here, you're renting an apartment, whatever, you're the one that's going to be living in it. So don't rely on your real estate agent, your realtor, your friend, your mom, your dad, your cousin to tell you where to live, to tell you where the quote-unquote good areas are. Get on the Las Vegas Police Department website, Google some crime statistics for Las Vegas or whatever parts of the city you want to live, whatever parts of the valley you want to live in. Do your own research, figure out what you're comfortable with. And the number one thing I always recommend besides doing your own research is, once you narrow it down to a few places you think you want to live, take a drive through at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Take a drive through at 8 a.m. on a Thursday. Come back that night. Go through on Saturday night. Go through it Sunday morning. Take a few drives through these places. See what they look like at all hours of the day. You can really tell a lot by a neighborhood based on the condition of the homes, the exterior condition of the homes, and what's going on at all different times of the day. That'll give you a pretty good idea about, if you think you want to live there, if you're going to feel safe there, that sort of thing. And it really helps you scope it out. So I really recommend you do that. Don't take anybody's word for it, because at the end of the day, your safety is your number one concern, and you really need to find a place that you are safe and that you feel safe living in. So do your own research with that. Number 7, guys, no state income tax. No state income tax. No state income tax. If you're moving to Las Vegas from California, you're probably so happy to hear that, because California has like the 13% state income tax or something ridiculous. I'm pretty sure it's the highest out of any state. So Las Vegas does not have a state income tax, so you don't have to worry about that. It's a very tax advantaged state. And I think a lot of people, absolutely love that, especially retirees or people who are on a fixed income. Not having an income tax, boom, instant raise. But even more than that, guys, number 8, we do not have a very high property tax. A lot of other states, 1, 2, 3, 5%, 8% property taxes. Ours are more like 0.1%. Our taxes on property are very low. So you're gonna keep more of that equity of your home or your condo, whatever you purchased, you're gonna keep more of that in your pocket, which is just good for everyone, I think, because I have never met anyone who wants to pay more in taxes for any reason on any day ever. So if you're moving here, remember, no state income tax and low property taxes. All right, guys, number 9, and this is definitely a negative. Car insurance here is a little more expensive, or a lot more expensive, depending on where you're moving from, than a lot of other states. That has to do with a few things. First, we're a 24/7 city. We're gambling, everybody's open, everybody's gambling 24/7, or everybody's open for gambling 24/7, I should say. There's alcohol available 24/7, and that means more accidents. Plus, you throw in the tourists in there, some are from the US, some are not, and they're all driving. So, there's more drunk drivers, there's more that sort of thing going on. And of course, more tourists who, I've done videos on this before, guys. Go check out some other of my videos on the pros and cons of different areas. But tourism is a great thing for Las Vegas, but can also be a bad thing because it leads to higher prices, in this scenario where you have more people on the roads who may not know where they're going, who might not be familiar with Las Vegas, which leads to more accidents and that sort of thing, guys. So if you're moving here, make sure you factor higher car insurance into your budget. Call Geico or Progressive or whoever you have car insurance with. Make sure you know what your insurance is going to be. Make sure you can afford it before you come out here, and definitely factor that in because it's not going away anytime soon. And finally, guys, number 10 on the list of things you need to know about living in Las Vegas, Nevada in 2021. We are a super mega travel hub. Something like 42 million people a year come to Las Vegas. Just let that sink in. 42 million people. I mean, that's an insane number of people come to visit Las Vegas every year. Because of that, our travel facilities, McCarran International Airport, number 1, are very suited to get you in and out very quickly. So I fly pretty often, maybe 6 times a year, not as often as some, but I think that's pretty often. And I never have any problems, whether I'm going alone, whether I'm going with my family of 4. McCarran International Airport is easy to get into, easy to get out of, and it has to be that way because tourists are constantly pouring in. Even more than that, if you're living here, McCarran has international flights to all parts of the world and all parts of the country, many of them nonstop. So you're definitely going to want to check out how easy it is to travel from Las Vegas and to Las Vegas. It's very easy. Highly recommend it. If you're living here, make sure you take advantage of that travel. Also, tickets are usually pretty cheap as long as you do your research, which is another great thing about flying out of a major hub. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you love the channel. Please go over and check out some of my other videos on Las Vegas. And of course, if you want to live here, my contact information is below. Reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you buy some kind of property and make your new home out here just absolutely amazing. Please tune in for another video as soon as you can, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great day.